Well, all right. Welcome to another weekly marketing mastermind with Coach D. All right. And on this weekly marketing mastermind, what we did was we talked about a HBA Funnel Builder tutorial on how to create a simple opt-in page with a lead magnet. So as usual, you want to grab your pen, grab you some paper so you can be ready to take notes on everything that we went through. And guys, if you're not catching these weekly masterminds live, you definitely want to be inside of our Facebook group. I'll make sure I leave a link. It'll be the first link in the description so that you can join our Facebook group so you can be able to take part in these live weekly marketing masterminds. All right. And don't forget, as usual, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Subscribe and ring that bell, babies. You can be alerted every time we come up with some content. All right. So let's go ahead, dive into the session. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? This is Coach D, and we're going to have another weekly mastermind. All right. And today we're going to talk about creating a simple opt-in funnel and attaching it to a lead magnet. All right. I've noticed that a lot of you guys are out there marketing your business, which is great. You're taking action. That is awesome. All right. The next step is you want to actually start being able to collect leads. Okay. Because not everybody's going to sign up, for your product, for your service, for your network marketing product. Not everybody's going to do business with you right away. So you want to be able to attract people to come into your fold, to come into, your email list, right? So that way you can follow up with them, you can stay in contact with them. And the main way to do that is with a lead magnet. Okay. Basically, you're going to be giving someone something of value in exchange. That's why they would give you their name and email address. All right. Now, what we're going to do today is I'm just going to show you how to create a simple opt-in funnel and attach it to the lead magnet. All right. In this video, we're not going to go over actually, creating the lead magnet. That would be in a separate training because that is a training all of itself, all on its own. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. And if you guys have questions as you're watching this, definitely put them down in the comments. And don't forget, if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, definitely subscribe to the channel. All right. And give me a thumbs up. And no matter where you're watching it, whether you watch it on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, it doesn't matter. Put down in the comments and let me know what your industry is, because I want to make sure that I'm bringing you content that is relevant to you and your industry. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. And the first thing, before we get into creating the simple opt-in funnel, I don't want to assume that everybody knows what I'm talking about when I'm saying an opt-in funnel. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of show you an overview of what's entailed, like what parts go together. So that way you can better understand. So to do that, let me go ahead and share my screen. So when you have an opt-in funnel, okay, the first page that a person comes to is going to be your opt-in page. Let's put this here. This is the first page that a person will come to. All right. Here. This is your opt-in page. So let me just go ahead and write this on here. Make sure we put some text on there. We'll say opt-in. This is the opt-in page. All right. And what we mean by opt-in is they're opting in to give you permission that you can follow up with them. Okay. That you can, send them emails later and communicate with them. All right. So this is an opt-in page right here. Now, what we have on that opt-in page, now, of course, you can get as extravagant, as you want. There are some opt-in pages that are super, super long, right? Because that's the angle they're going for. But today we're just going to focus on just, kind of simplifying it a little bit. Okay. And like I said, but as you learn more, you'll be able to put as much as you want on that opt-in page. That's what you choose. But there are some things that are important to have no matter what type of business it is. All right. There are some things that are important to have. One thing that's important to have, all right, and we're going to mark this here, is going to be some type of headline. All right, some type of headline up here near the top. Okay. And what that headline is going to do is just kind of catch people's attention or kind of give them a sneak peek of what they might be in for, as far as getting into your email list. What are they opting in for? Gives them like a sneak peek. It kind of grabs them. That's what's called a headline, right? It kind of grabs their attention. Okay. Then sometimes you'll have a subline, a subheadline. All right. And that's usually in smaller text. Okay. All right. Now, not every opt-in page will have a subheadline. I usually do use them. Okay. Because it just kind of gives you maybe another couple sentences about what the product is that they're going to be opted into. You know, whatever it is they're going to receive on the other side, it kind of gives them a little bit more information about it. All right. All right. Now keep in mind these things, the headline, the subheadline, these things are what's called above the fold. All right. Now, when we say above the fold, that means like when you go to your when you go to, whether it's on desktop or on mobile, but it really comes in handy on mobile. When a person goes to the web page, they want to be able to, you want them to be able to see everything on their screen without them having to scroll. All right, so let me go to a website on my screen real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so this is a opt-in funnel that I did. Let me see if you can see this on a mobile screen. Let me come back. All right, you can see it a little bit. Okay. All right, so you see that button there? It shows up on the beginning of the page, right? So that means that a person does not have to scroll down to be able to click the button, to be able to take the action that you want them to take, right? And that's what we're going for. We don't want them to have to, you know, scroll all the way down to the page, because people will not scroll, or they won't even realize it's down there because they didn't scroll, right? So you want to make sure that that is above the fold. That's what it's called, above the fold. So we're going to say the opt-in button or section, all right? Because you can have a button that does a pop-up and turns into the opt-in, or you can have the opt-in section there. All right, but all of this right here you want to have on that page. All right, anything else, you know, is optional. All right, as long as your page looks nice and clean the way that you want, you're good to go. Now, some of the things that we're going to put on our page that we're going to make, that I do like to add on my opt-in page, once again, this part that I'm telling you is optional, but it does make the I believe it does help with conversions a lot, is we're going to add a testimonial section. All right, now the reason why I like to add a testimonial section is, let me number this too. Yeah, so y'all can see the difference. This was number 1 right there. This was number 2, was the sub headline. And then the button would be number 3. And then the testimonial would be number 4. Okay. Now, the reason why I like to add a testimonial section is it just gives that little bit of oomph. Now, the testimonial section, a lot of times the testimonial section I'll use will just be testimonials of someone who actually used that thing. Like if they're opted into a PDF or a checklist or something like that, it'll be, you know, feedback that I've gotten from people who have actually used that particular checklist, you know, that you're giving out as a freebie, right? Because that's what people are getting. They're getting something for free. Okay. Now, I want to go ahead and address this real quick, because I know you're probably going to ask, you know, like, well, man, you know, what if I have a lead magnet I just created and I don't have any testimonials for it? Okay, well, you can use testimonials for your actual service or product. All right, so if you have a travel agency and you had people who actually, you know, used that service before, used your service before, you can use those testimonials. Okay, let's say if you're like, man, I have a travel agency, but I haven't actually booked any clients yet. Let's say that's your example, you know, or that's your situation. All right, well, you're probably part of a network marketing company and you have a team. They have people who have booked some travel through them. You can you usually, and you have to ask your team, but every team I've been a part of, we can use those testimonials because that means they still did use that service, right? And then what if you're like, man, I don't have a team, or whatever the case may be, or maybe you have a local business, so there is no team, right? You feel me? There is no network marketing team in that case, right? And then what I would do is I would literally find someone, say, hey, here's what I'm giving away as a freebie for people, you know, to help them solve whatever problem it is. Okay, whatever problem you're solving, because your lead magnet will be solving someone's problem. It'll be giving some information that they need to know, right? That's the problem it's solving. So I would say, hey, you know, I'm giving this away. I want you to check it out and see if this will help you. Boom. And they give you the feedback. Boom. Right. And then whatever they say, I'll say, yeah, man, this is great, man. This has definitely helped me not, you know, not fall into this trap, or it helped me save money, or it helped me, you know, gain more customers, or whatever it is based on what you're giving out. Right. But that's another way that you could get testimonials as well. All right. And they be truthful testimonials. Okay. So that is the opt-in page. Now, the next page that they go to is going to be dependent upon how you set up your funnel. All right. And I'll explain that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll explain that right here. Right. All right. So over here, a lot of times this is called the thank you page. All right. This just means the page that they go to next. All right. So let me copy that, put this over here. let's say thank you page or next page, right? This is just the page that they go to next, okay? Now, on the opt-in funnel that we're going to create, we're going to be giving away a lead magnet, and we're going to actually give it away on that next page, meaning when a person gives us their email address on this opt-in page, we're going to actually send them to the lead magnet. All right. So we don't have to create a second thank you page. That will act as the thank you page. All right. And I'll show you how it's going to have your information on it as well. Now, the other option is, if that's not the way that you're doing it, and that's fine. Sometimes I do it this way, sometimes I don't. All right. Is you would just create a thank you page, and that would be the end of the funnel. Thank you page may say something like, for example, something really simple, your freebie or whatever it is. It could be your free guide or your free checklist, but whatever your freebie is on its way. Be sure to check your email and spam folder. All right. It can be something as simple as that. And of course, you know, to fill out the page, meaning to fill out the web page, you can add things on there as well, like more testimonials. More testimonials. You could put things like an about you section, where you just kind of talk about you a little bit, right? Including your picture, right? Including a pic. Right? Those are things that you could put on that second page. But like I said, for this example that we're doing today, all right, we're not going to use a separate thank you page. It's actually going to be the freebie that we're going to give away. Okay. So now that you know, that's literally all a basic opt-in funnel is. All right. It's nothing extravagant. It may seem that way, you know, because if you're looking at other people's funnels and you haven't made your own, it can seem, you know, a little daunting. You'd be like, man, I don't know if I could do that, right? I get it, because I was the same way until I, you know, figured out how simple it is. And then, of course, you know, it depends on the type of tool that you're using, but hopefully you're using the tool that I'm using, this easy website tool. All right, and so you'll be good to go. All right, so let me go ahead and let's jump into the builder. Now, the builder we're going to be using is the HBA Funnel Builder. That's the builder we're going to be using for this, okay? So we're going to jump into the builder. And I'm going to show you, because I created one, okay? And I'm going to show you how I created it. All right, so that's what we're going to go through. I'm going to go through showing you how I created that, okay? So we'll go over here. This is going to be the final product. Okay. This is going to be the final product right here. All right. We're going to, we created a lead magnet. Hold on. Okay. We created a lead magnet that is for the travel industry. And this is something that you could give, a person could give away if you're in the travel agency, travel industry. Because here's the thing, when you're thinking about a lead magnet, you want to give away something that your audience will care about. And in this particular industry, people will care about, you know, not having a checklist of items that they need to make sure that they take with them, right? You know what I mean? I know if I'm traveling, I'm like, man, do I got everything? Do I got everything? So I would love to just have a last minute checklist, like, hey, boom, 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 I have the essentials. All right. So that way I'm not out there. Let's say I'm taking a vacation to Mexico or something, you know what I'm saying, or Puerto Rico or something, you know, and I'm out there and I done forgot my toothbrush or something like that, you know, something that I, you know, really need to take with me. So this is going to be the final product right here. All right. Now, this is obviously a template. All right. And if you guys, you know, have HBA with me, you can actually get access to this template that I created. So you don't have to start from scratch. But the point of the matter is, I'm going to show you how to make it, though, because that's the point of this, showing you how to make this opt-in funnel. All right. So this is the actual opt-in page. All right. And so what happens is when a person puts in their details, they actually get the lead magnet. All right. So before we go into the creating this funnel, I'm gonna show you the lead magnet real quick. So that way everything will make sense. Once we create the funnel, boom, they opt in and they get the lead magnet, everything will make sense. Let me show you the lead magnet that I created for this. All right. And this is a simple lead magnet that I created for it. I made a travel essential checklist. All right. And I made it inside of Canva. Okay. I have Canva Pro, but you can also make them with Canva free. For some of the templates are free. This one might be a pro template. I'm not sure. All right. But I made this inside of Canva. Okay, it has everything listed that a person, would need for their essentials, for their travel essentials. And if you're in the travel agency industry, then you know that this checklist is good. Now, obviously, you'll get access to this as well. If you're inside of HBA with me, you'll get access to this actual template, and you can use it. You'll get access to it via Canva, and you can use it and you can edit, anything out that you want to. If you feel that something is missing or something doesn't need to be there, then fine, you can go ahead and click on it and, edit these things out. All right. The good thing about this is, the important thing to remember is that even if you leave everything else the same, which is totally fine, make sure that you change the website address down here. I just put in my website address, easywebsitetool.com. All right. But down here, you just want to click it, and then you can type in your own web address. Right? easywebsitetool.com. So that way, the idea is when a person gets this checklist, they're not forgetting about you, right? You still have your contact information down here. Now, of course, you could also add in your phone number if you want to do that. You can just type it right next to it. You could type the phone number as well. You can add anything you want to this, but this is already done for you. Technically, the only thing that you need to change is your contact details, whether you want to use your website here and or your phone number. I would recommend both, your business phone number and your website. All right. So that way you're still in top of mind. But this is what the actual download is going to look like, the actual freebie that they're going to get. All right. So now let's go to how we actually create it, because this is the finished one. All right. Now we're going to start over. Here's the thing. The easiest way to be able to create an opt-in page or funnel is going to be if you start with a template. That's the easiest way. All right. Now, with a template, that doesn't mean it's going to be an exact template as far as like, oh, yeah, man, this is, the exact one. It already has all the words on it. No. Now, obviously, if you get this template from me because you're in the travel industry, then yes, this has the exact word. All right. But when you're picking a template, you just want to see something that kind of strikes your attention, something that has some of the items that you would like to use. That's basically what you want to do. All right, so we're going to make this again. So to do it, once you're inside here, all right, in HBA, once you're inside of your funnel builder area, you're going to go over here to where it says, over to the left where it says funnels. And you may not have this many in here. All right, if you're just starting, you don't have this many. These are all the things that I'm working on. All the funnels that I'm working on, have worked on, have completed, and still completing all that stuff. So I need to scroll down to the bottom, move this over, scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to say add new step. And then you say add page. Okay, add page. And then there's a lot of templates that come with HBA. All right, when you pick up the funnel builder, there's a lot that already come with it. Okay, as you'll see back here, it's over 100. Like each one of these is categories that you can click on. Now, let me see if I can find the category that I chose. Okay, I believe it's the second category, and let's scroll down. I believe it was this one. All right, and what you do first is you preview it, because you can preview it before you decide to put it in your funnel area. You can preview it. So you preview it, hit preview, and you can see what it looks like, right? Now, mind you, remember when I told you the things that we're looking for, okay? We're looking for, let's go back. That's not it. This. All right. We know we need a headline, sub-headline, okay? An opt-in area, all right? Where it's a button or a section for it, and some testimonials, okay? So let's go back. All right. So here, we can use this as the headline, right? We're just going to change out the words, but we just want to see if the base is there. This is the opt-in area. All right, cool. All right, and it doesn't have testimonials, but I'm going to show you how we can add those testimonials on there. Okay, so it has the basics. The other thing that I do like is that it has a background image, and I'm going to show you how we could change that image out, right? But I do like the fact that it does have a background image, so that's pretty cool too. All right, so I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and use this one. So the other thing too, before you use it, you want to see how it looks on tablet view and mobile view, at least starting out. And it may look different once we complete the page, and we'll check it again anyway. But go ahead and hit, it lets you see the different view of how it'll look on tablet and mobile. All right, so this is tablet view, and you click this little cell phone, and this is the cell phone view. So it's like, okay, cool. So at least starting out, it looks good. And like I said, as we change it, then we'll check it again. So now to actually use this, right, to make sure that now that we want to put it into our account so we can use it, we hit select. And then we have to name that page. Where it says page name, we have to give it a name. Now, don't worry, you can change this name later if you decide that you don't want to use that page anymore, or if you decide that you don't like the name of the page. You could change it once you finish the finish fixing the page. All right. So for our purposes, I'm just going to name it training demo. Okay. For travel. All right. For our purposes. Okay. So then that's what we have there. Everything else you keep the same. You don't worry about any of this for this particular type of funnel. We just go ahead and hit add. And what's going to happen is it's going to actually add it to the end of your funnel list. So before you see it's in our system now, but before we start working on it, I'm going to show you where to find that page, okay, in your funnel list. That way you know exactly how to get back to it. So you come over here and you hover over these little lines, right? Hover over and it says funnels. You click it and then you scroll to the bottom and you'll see it right there. Training demo travel. Okay, that's what we named it. Cool, it's there. Just wanted to show you that. So every time you add a funnel page in, it's going to go to the bottom of your list. Okay, and you can move it later if you want to. That's fine. We have all of that type of training inside of the HBA Funnel Builder Academy. All right, but for right now, we don't need to move it. We just need to work on it. Okay, and we're going to be looking at this one to kind of model after, because we know what we want it to look like. All right, now, and I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm gonna have to remember how I did some of this stuff. I'm gonna be straight up. All right. So the first thing, I knew that I wanted to keep this background right here. But I also wanted to make sure that I had a section down here for testimonials too. So I said, okay, all right, let me go ahead and add my testimonials, because that's going to add another section. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See where it says add block? We hit add block. This is how you're going to add the testimonials, okay? And once again, that's optional. I like adding the testimonials. For one, it helps to fill out the page. I don't like any type of white space at the bottom of my pages, right? So I like for it to fill it out, but also too, it does help with conversions, okay? So I'm here add block. And over here where it says teams of testimonials, the good thing about the HBA Funnel Builder is that they have a lot of the different sections that we might use. They have a lot of them already done for us. So that's pretty cool. All right. So this one is the team and testimonials. I like to use that one. We go here and then we could just choose which one we want. And I want to say I chose this one right here. Or did I choose this one? Let's see if I chose that one, because I don't remember which one I chose, right? So let's choose this one right here. All right. So this one right here is the one I chose, okay? Probably, let me see. So wait, yeah, and then wait, okay. All right, so then what I did was I changed the background color. Now, these are things that I did, and so I'm going to show you what I did. Does that mean you have to change the background color? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, okay? Just want to make sure you know, it doesn't. But that's what I'm going to do, right? So what I'm going to do now is change this background color. Instead of it all being white, because that kind of blends in with the actual testimonial section, right? I'm just going to make it black. So here what I did, I hovered over here, the block. This lets me know that all of this is a block. This whole big old thing is a block. And inside of the block is columns. Column, 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 right? So basically building a funnel is basically building a lot of blocks and columns inside of it, okay? So if I want to change the color of this whole block back here, the background of this block, I can hit the word block, and then I'm going to go over here. It says background color. Now, yes, you're going to see some other items over here, but we're not going to use those items right now for this particular funnel. But of course, you learn about all of this inside of the HBA Funnel Builder. So we're going to click it, and we're going to make it black. Go down here to black, and we're just going to change it black. Okay. All right. Now, the other thing I did, all right, and you notice how this save button came up. All right, you do want to save your work periodically, okay, regularly, because what if your computer cut off or something like that, you know? So just save it. All right, so that way you're good to go. Now let's go back to the way we want it to look. All right, so we know we have the background of these are all white here. Okay, so let's go back. Excuse me. And this one is actually pink. So I'm like, man, I want it to be white. Okay. Now, so how can I change the color of this background of this column? Because notice when I hover over it, it says column. See that? Column. So we're no longer dealing with the block, we're dealing with the column. So we go to the word column on the column that we want to change. We click it and notice it says background color. All right, and right now it's that little pink color. We're going to click it and we're just going to make it white. All right. Now, the other thing I forgot is that the words on here were white. Okay. Now you're like, oh, where did the words go? They didn't go anywhere. They're white. So we'll just hit this undo button, just go back one time, right? And so we'll just change these words to black before we change that to white. So to change the text, double click it, go over to this letter A and it says background color. Notice it's two A's. One says text color and the next one with the little dark black background says background color. So we're going to hit text color and hit black. So we're changing the text to black. And then we'll do the same thing for the name. Double click it, text color, black. Double click it, text color, black. All right. Now when we change the background of that column to white, now everything will be good. All right. So we go back to column, the background color to white. Now everything is good. All right. Save. Now from here, I didn't change these out, but I'll show you how. Let me show you this. Remember, this is our finished product here. Okay. You can change these out. What I like to do when I have testimonials is I don't use the image. Now, with that being said, that's because I don't collect the images from testimonials. When I get testimonials from customers, I don't collect the images. If I had a way to collect the images, then I would put images if I had their permission to put the images. But I don't collect the images, so I don't put the images on there. So I'll go back to where we're editing this. Click on image, and we're just going to remove it. Notice I clicked on image. It says you can edit the image. You could do some other things to it, or the trash can means delete. However, it says delete. I'm just going to take it out. Yes. Image gone. All right, I'm going to do the same thing over here. Come over, click it, hit the trash can, image gone. Click it, hit the trash can, image gone. All right, hit save, boom. Now my image is gone. Okay, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want an image there. Now, how do we actually change the text right here to whatever the generic text is that you're using? Let me go back up to mine. Okay, I didn't put any generic text in mine. All right, but you can just right click it and put in whatever your generic text is. Like it may say this checklist really saved me a bunch of time. It was awesome. Right? And you put it in quotes because that's what someone actually said, right? That would be your actual testimonial. But the point is, this is how you make the testimonial. And for this case, I'm just going to copy the same thing over here. And I want you to see how I copied it. I just went over here, double clicked the text, right click, copy, come over here, double click, right click, paste. I'm just copying it over just for the sake of this video, right? But when you get my template, I'll have some actual generic, testimonials in there. Safe. All right. Now, so now we're like, okay, cool. We got this section down here. Let's go look at our final product. All right. So we'll see how we want it to look. We're like, okay. All right. Let's see what else we got. All right. We got some more work to do. Let's change that background image. Let me see. Yeah. And we're going to have a text block here too. See how we have this text here too? All right. So I did create a text block there too. I believe I made that a separate text block though. I believe I did. So what we'll do is we'll add a block there. We're going to hit add block. Yeah, I did. I did make that a separate one. And then I had to format it. Okay. Hit add block, and I'm going to say empty block. All right. So now there's nothing there. Okay. All right. And then this right here, where it says, here's what you get. Hit this plus sign, because all we just do is just add a headline there so we can add some words. Hit that plus sign and hit headline. Where is it? Heading. Right. And notice, look at the little green line, lets you know where you're putting this stuff, right? And it's like, oh, where do you want me to put it? Where do you want me to put it? Just put it right there at the top. Right. And the heading said, here's what you get. Here's what you get. No, oh, what you're going to get. Here's what you're going to get. All right. Simple. And now all we have to do is I just centered that as well. All right, I centered that. But you know what? I'm not going to center it yet because there is something else I did do to line this up. Because you notice on this one right here where it was lined up from top to bottom, where the edges are lined up. Okay. And notice here, the edges aren't going to be lined up just yet because I have 12% space here and 10% space here. All right, so I said, you know what? I want to make sure that it lines up as much as I possibly can get it to line up. All right, so let me see. I went here and I just moved over. Notice I just dragged that line over and it tells you the percentage. Move that out the way, goodness. All right, it had the 12 there though. It had the 12 there. Let me know it was 12%. And over here, because I'm just modeling this over here, that's at 12% gap. This says 10% gap. So it's like, all right, let me take this. Not that one. Hold on. I need to get the edge of the line like I did here. And sometimes you got to hover over it. Okay, that big line right here. All right, and this one said 10%. So I want to take this over to 10%. All right, just because I want it to be the same. All right. Okay. All right, so I hit save. All right. Because I wanted to line up when I have everything on there. I wanted to line up. So if that has a 12% right here, then that's why I have this one at 12%. As far as the space, like when I hover over, you see that say 10%, and I just wanted that to say 10% too. All right, I want it to be the same. All right. So next thing I said, okay. Then I had these things right here. Now these are called icons with text. So it's like a little black icon. I probably should have made that yellow or something. I probably should have made that little arrow yellow right here. Yeah, I'll make it like yellow so it stand out because right now it's black. Yeah, that's what it is. All right, so go back. I hit this plus sign. And it's called icon section. What that is going to be a little icon to the left and then some words to the right. So I'm just going to grab it and put it right underneath. You see the green line going left to right? Let me know, okay, I want to put it right there. All right, and it pops up to say, well, what kind of icon do you want? I just use the arrow. I use the arrow icon. So I typed in the word arrow, and then I scroll down because I want the arrow to be pointing in that direction, right? So I click it, and that's the arrow right there. Boom. And notice I'm going to have, what, 3 of those sections? But before I put the other 2, all right, I want to go ahead and format it. Format means I just want to put the color that I want. All right, and I'll go ahead and put one of these. I'm going to copy these words. You would type them in if you don't have them, obviously. But I'm going to paste it here into the title section, right? This said title. Not down here in this section. The only reason being because the title section is bigger, and that's what I want. If I put it down here, this would just be like the regular text size. And that's fine, but that ain't what I want. So that's why I put it like that. Boom. Okay. Then for the little icon, right, it says I can edit the icon. All right, I don't want to edit it. I want to go to the styling brush, right, the little styling brush, and then it says icon color. This is where I can change the color of the icon. And what I said I was going to do, like yellow, yeah, to see if it'll pop out for me once I'm done. So I just hit a little yellow. Let's say if you have a hex code, all right, you could just paste it in here where it says the the hashtag hex code right there. If you have a hex code for that color. All right, so now that I have that, now all I need to do to make the other ones is I could just copy it. Obviously, you could just, keep adding it, but I could just copy it. Let me hit save real quick, and I'm going to show you, because this is a really good feature of this builder, that you can copy certain things on a page, and then you can use them on other pages or the same page. So I'll show you what I mean. So I hover over this icon section. You see it says icon section. I click it, and then automatically says copy. It's like, oh, you want to copy this? Yeah, I want to copy this. Now, why did I wait till now to copy it? Because now when I copy this, already going to have that yellow arrow on it for me. I don't have to go and change the color of that arrow. I just need to change the text itself. So I hit copy, and notice this jumped up when I hit copy. It's letting you know, hey, this is where it's at. So I go in here, and it's going to be the top one. Go ahead, icon section, grab it, boom. And I'm going to go grab it one more time. Grab it one more time. Right? So now I got 3 of them. So all I have to do now is just change the actual text. All right, so go back here. The second text was this one right here. All right, copy this. And, did I hit Control copy? All right, and then I hit Control V. Okay, now I hit Control V. Okay. All right, so that is one right there. And let me make sure that these are all good. Let me see what that one says. Okay, all right. And it came out on the second line as well. All right, great. Now the last one, this one right here, copy it. And again, if you don't have something that you're following, then you would just type it in. You wouldn't be copying it. You would just have to type it in. If you don't have something that you're copying from. Okay. Hit save and see if it looks like this one right here. Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right. So that's what we're looking like so far. All right. And you can see it's 10% on this side, 12% on this side. And just make sure 12% on this side, 10% on this side. So the lineup is looking good. We're looking nice and sharp. Okay. Now the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do that background image. Okay. Because the way that I did it, I wanted my image to go behind the whole page. So what they have here is they have this background. This background that they have is only behind just this block, right? Because remember I told you the pages are built in blocks, right? Whether it's a funnel or a website, it doesn't matter, built in blocks. So they have their image behind this whole block, right? Great. But the image I want to use, I want it to be behind everything. So when you have an image and you put it behind everything, the whole page, and then it's like, great. And you're like, well, what if I don't want a section that, is covered with that image? That's not a problem. You can always put something on top of it like this would be right here. Okay, you can always override it. But I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay, because I want the image over the whole thing. So I go to this little styling brush over to the left, and it's called Global Styling. Right, when you hover over it, say Global Styling. You click it, and I go to Page Styling. Page Styling. Then it's like, yeah, I want it to be over the whole page. So click this, and then I put an image in here. Now I got the image from Canva. Okay, I just created an image on Canva that I wanted, and because this is a travel agency site, I just wanted something kind of tropical, vacation-y looking type deal. So I chose this one right here. At first I had this one, but I didn't like that one as much, so I chose this one. Click it, and you'll see the green now highlight to green, and it's a dark green. That lets you know that you have selected it. Then you go down here and hit the button select. Then it comes over here. All right. And then here you could drop down, and they have different options here, but I wanted to cover the whole area. So I'm going to put cover whole area. And don't worry about the image at the top that's already on there. I'm going to show you what to do with that. So hit cover whole area, hit confirm. All right. Now, we have it over the whole area, but you're like, oh, D, it's not over the whole area because this thing is there. Remember I told you that if you ever want to like kind of override it, you would just change it out in each block, right? Like this template that we have, it already has a picture on this block, right? In this block. So that's no problem. Let me show you. Hit block up here. All right. And you see, that's the image they have right there. It's like, okay, well, no problem. Take the image out. Okay, no problem. And then we can go to background color and we can make it transparent, right? Now, why are we making it transparent? Because we want it to be able to see through so that we can see whatever's in the back end. Remember, we went to page styling and we put an image over the whole thing. So we like, hey, man, I want to see that image that's back there. You know, the thing that we said we want to be over everything, right? So it's like, all right, man, there you go. Don't trip. Boom. Now you got it. All right. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is you're going to notice, you're going to like, well, D, this is, I'm going to show you this live page as we do it too. As a matter of fact, to get to the live page, you just click this link. This actually will open up the live page that you're working on. All right. So that way you can see without all the other interruptions. All right. And you'd be like, well, D, this part is dark up here and this part is lighter down here. It sure is. It sure is. Why is that? Because this is a whole block and this is a separate block. But guess what? All there is an overlay over here. And I actually like the overlay, so we're going to put the overlay on both. And I'm going to show you how. So let's go back to our website inside of HBA. And over here, this is just the overlay. So we go to block. And where it says add overlay, like we could check it and it literally would take off the overlay. But I like the overlay. So we're going to keep it on there. And then you can change the color of the overlay. I think I want the overlay a little bit darker. So I'm going to click it, right? And then this is the opacity. Like it has the color in there, which it's gray. You can change it to black if you want, right? But no matter what you change it to, you can change the opacity, which means lighten it up, darken it up, right? So let's change the opacity. And notice I have the color at black. I changed it to black. And then change the opacity, right? Boom. So now once I have the opacity, because I want the opacity of the second block to be the same, I want to make sure that I copy the exact coordinates. Okay, so the coordinates for the opacity is the A, which says A 0.7354. So we're going to click it, copy it like that. Okay, because we just want to make sure we get the same overlay here. So we go to this block, click add overlay, click this button for the color, make it black, and where it says this A, I'm gonna paste that in there so we can get the same number. All right, so we get the same overlay. All right, so hit save. All right, so now we got the same overlay over each. And now you're like, well, D, man, I can't see the words. Well, guess what? That's why you make the text white. Like, come on now. I know you're figuring it out by now. Notice how in our finished product we have the text white right here, right? So guess what? We're gonna make the finished product over here be the text white. That's all. That's all we're gonna do. Ain't no problem. We go over here, boom. For this text over here, for this heading, we double click it to get all of it highlighted. Go up here to text color. We're just gonna change it to white. Boom. No problem, man. We ain't gonna cry about it. And then these icon section text, we're gonna go over here, do the same thing. Click it all, hit text color, make it white. Boom. Do the same thing down here. Text color, white. Do the same thing, double click it, go to text color, white. Ain't no problem. Hit save. All right, so now we refresh our page. We go up here to where we have our live page, but now we need to refresh it so we can see the changes that we made, right? So we refresh our page. It's like, all right, oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Right. Now I made these yellow, but actually it could be the same color as this. You know, you can make it the same color as that if you wanted to, which would probably make more sense to make it the same color as that. So let me go back to the website. I'm going to click on this button right here, and I'm going to hit edit styling. Maybe not edit styling. Let me hit this edit settings. I want to see the color of the button. Not that. Let me go. No, it might be styling. Button styling. Yeah, it was button and the button styling. Because I want to see the color of the button. Now, why did I want to see the color of the button? There's more than one way you can find out the color of that button. This is the easiest way where you don't need any extensions. I have extensions. I have an extension called Color Picker that I can actually see what color that button is. But in this way, you don't need an extension. You can just go and look, right? Because it's in the system. You go and look and see what color the button is. Because it says button color. So you click it. And that color is that pound FBA 026. Just double click on it and copy it. You say, well, why are you doing that? Because remember, we said that we wanted to make these little icons the same color. So boom, now we go back here. We hit this paintbrush so we get the icon color. Then we go over here and paste it where it says pound down here where it says pound, paste it. And now we get the same color button. This would be the same color. That's all. That's the only reason. That's the only reason we're doing that. So do the same thing again. That's just to change the color. You can change color to whatever you want. I'm just saying so to match with what we got. That's all. We just matching with what we got. Boom. Right? That's all. No big deal. All right. Hit save. Now we go back to our live page. Hit refresh so we can just see our live changes. And now this color matches that color. That's it. So if you want to make this, purple, if that's what you want, then so be it. Okay? So you could change it to purple. All right, but that's the only reason we did that. Now, what else did we do? I know we didn't have no logo up there. Okay, I know we didn't have no logo. Let's go back to our actual page that we're modeling after. All right, we have say goodbye to blah, 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 right at the top. So we don't have the logo, but what do we have? We have these words. So we're going to take the logo out and we're going to keep these words, keep the Black Friday deals words, and we're going to take this timer out, right? So it's like, all right, cool. So where it says logo, right, we hover over it, click it, and you see the little trash can means delete. Click it. Yes, it's gone. Bye-bye for it. Save. Right? And we know we don't have this little timer here, right? This countdown timer. Click it. Hit the trash can. Save. Boom. Now we don't have it. Bye-bye for you, timer. Bye-bye for you. We don't like you. All right? Go back to our live page. All right, and refresh. And now we see what we got. Okay? So we said say goodbye to. Now the other thing I did was I did change some of the lineup, like we're gonna check some of the spacing out, right, to make it look the way that we want to. Because notice, like Right here, I said say goodbye to. Mine is a little bit further up. Okay, so we'll go back into our thing here, and we double clicking on it. All right, to change these words, double clicking on it. Now we can just start typing. Say goodbye to. All right, those little words, hit save, and then notice when you hover, okay, when you hover over here, that 35px means 35 pixels. That's letting you know that's how many pixels is in between the next layer up there. So I could just grab that little green right there and move it up. Right, I just took some of that space out, hit save, and I might have took that spacer out too. I think I took the spacer out right here too. Let me see. I believe I did. Let me go here. Yeah, I probably did. I'm gonna take this little spacer out. The spacer just does just what it says. It just adds space. And yes, you can add spaces with this little plus sign and then add space over here wherever you want. Right? You can add space in there. Right? But we don't want the spacer in this case. You know, I didn't use the spacer, so I'm pretty sure I took it out. So I'm gonna click on it and hit the little trash can. Hit save. All right. And then test it out with our actual live. Yeah, and that looks about right here, the amount of space. I just didn't want that space. If you want the space, you keep it. I just didn't want it. Right, and we're going to say last minute panic. Last minute packing panic. Copy. These are the words we're going to use where we see that yellow, right, which is here. So I just pasted it right there. Save. Refresh. Boom. You see, and you're starting to see how our page is coming along. You're starting to see it. Starting to see how our page is coming along. Right now, all we're doing now is we just adding in whatever text you want and taking out any space that you don't want. That's really all we're doing right now. And then the next thing we had in there, all right, these words right here, but we put this and then this. So we have all this text in there. All this is text. All right. And it's probably center space, but we're going to see. So let's go back over to our little website. It has the text block right here because you hover over it says text. It also has this little space right here. I think we might have took that space out. So that's why I pulled up on it. All right, you saw what I did. Just grab that. Close that gap, right? I'm going to close that gap. Then I'm going to go ahead and all of this is in that same text box. So I'm going to hover over all of it and paste in our new stuff right there. All right. And so let's see what we got now. Let's see how that's looking. Okay, cool. All right, and let me see how that's looking on this one. All right, so something is off. Let me see. This one is right. The overwhelmed is right. This one is wrong. I got something off on this one, on the second line right here. I don't know what I got off, but I do got something off. I'm wondering. Let me see. Oh, I'm wondering if this is center line. Let me see if this one is centered. I hover over it, hit this. That one says it's centered. Let me see if this one is centered. Let me hover over this and see if it's centered. Oh, okay. This one is, all right. So look when you hover over it, okay? And I want to take it back and show you. Okay. You have where you can center it, you can left align it, right align it, or justify it. That's just the terminology that is used on like every website builder, right? So I noticed this one up here was center. I hover over it, and then I click this button up here where it says paragraph, click it, the down arrow, and then notice that the one that's highlighted is very faint, but it's very light gray compared to the dark gray. Let me know that this one is aligned in the center. Said, okay. So that was aligned in the center. So I was like, well, this one should be lined in the center. So let me see if it's lined in the center. So I just hovered over this sentence and did the same thing. Hit the little drop down from the paragraph. And notice the one that's highlighted this time is the one to the left. That means it's aligned to the left. It's like, oh, that's why. Okay, so I want it to be the same. Okay, now however you decide to line yours up is how you decide to line it up. I want my stuff to be the same. So if the top one was aligned center, I want this one aligned center too. So I'll go ahead and click align center. So that's why it moved it over a little bit for me. Hit save. Okay, go back up here, refresh the page, and you notice it moved over now. Okay, so it's like, okay, and that looks better. All right, you see that looks the way that I want it to look. Okay, I just want it to be looking the same. If you want your shit over to the left, then put your shit over to the left. All right, I want it to be the same. All right, now next on the page, all right, I have the opt-in form, which is where they put their name and email address. All right, so let's go and make sure that I got that. All right, I got the opt-in form. Now, on this live page, I don't have that much space here. I actually do want a little bit more space here, to be honest with you. All right, the way that I did mine, I do want a little bit more space there, to be honest. And on this one, it has some space there. On my final version, it doesn't. So that means I'll go back and change my final version because I would rather have a little bit of space there, to be honest with you. All right. But before I say that, I want to make sure that space looks good real quick on mobile. Now, how do I do that? Remember I told you we could see three views. We could see the desktop view, which is what we're looking at. We can see the tablet view, and we can see the mobile view. The tablet view, we go down here, okay, and we hover over tablet view, okay? I just want to see if that space makes sense or if it's too much space right here, right? So now go over to the mobile view, which it says phone view, okay? I just want to see if that space makes sense. And the space looks decent. I'm not even gonna lie. The space looks decent. Main thing I'm making sure is that I still, can see this opt-in form on the page without having to scroll. And that is true. I can. All right. So the space don't look too bad. Now, I'm gonna take some of it out. Because notice when I hover over it, it's letting me know that, hey, there's 40 pixels worth of space in there. 40px is 40 pixels. So I could take some of it out, just grabbing it with my clicker and moving up a little bit. I'm going to take it up to 20 and see how that looks. I'm going to take it up to 20 and see how that looks. Hit save. All right, go over here, refresh. All right, so that moved up a little bit. It moved up a little bit. I just want to take a little bit out. You know what I mean? And of course, if you want to take some more out, you could. If you want to take all of it out, boom, save. Come back over here, and it comes up even further. Okay, like that. All right. So yeah, I think I like it like that. Let me just check it on this real quick. All right, that's the tablet view. Okay, cool. Let me check it on the phone view real quick. Okay, phone view. Okay, I like that amount of space. I like this amount of space better. Okay, so it's gonna be looking like this. I like that better. I don't want it, too close up on it. I don't want it too far away. You know what I mean? All right. So now our page is starting to look like somebody now. It's starting to look like somebody. We like, all right, we can message with you. We can message with you. Now it says, yes, send me the deals. But that's not the call to action we have. Let's go on our live when it says give me free guide. So we're going to make it say give me free guide. I'm going to show you. That's the button. I'm going to show you. All right. So here on the button, just to change the words of the button, we click on the button, click it with the hand, and we go to edit settings. Yeah, and it says button text. All right. We're going to say give me free guide. And you can put whatever call to action you want. That's just the one that I put in there. Give me free guide. Okay. And we'll worry about the rest of this in just a moment as far as hooking up the actual lead magnet. All right. Right now, we just want to make sure our page look the way that we want it to look. Okay. So it's like, all right, cool. I'm liking the way that's rolling out. Now, the next thing, just scrolling down the page. All right. Because we're almost there now. The next thing is I didn't like that much space in between these two areas, in between the button and here's what you're going to get. See, this is our live page here. So we got a good amount of space here. I mean, you want some space, but I don't want that much space, So we go back to our builder and we're just going to do, you see, we got two areas we can drag up because each area, you see how I hover over it, let you know it's like this is 162 pixels in between these two areas. And this is a additional 55 pixels. So it's like, all right, I don't want all them pixels in there. So let me start with this one and I just grab it, bring it up here, save. Come back over to our live site, see what it looked like. It's like, okay, that looked better to me. Yeah, that looked better to me. That looked better to me right there. That looked better. I like that. Let me see what I did on my final draft. My final draft, I think I have a little bit more on my final draft actually. Here to here. Yeah, I like this one though. I like this one better. Yeah, that's good. Because I don't want that much space there. It don't need to be like tons of space. All right, cool. So we got that. All right. We got this right here. Okay, cool. So now we want to check our spacing real quick for our in between these two areas right here. Because see, when you hover over, it's letting you know how much space you got. 53 pixels, 82 pixels. All right. So that means all of this is 53 plus 82 pixels in between. So it's like, do you want that much space? Not that much. Not that much. Let me see what I had on my final draft. On final draft, I didn't have that much. See, I had less of it down here by the testimonials, right? So let's go down here by the testimonial section where it says 82 pixels, because that's that space right there. Let's take some of that out. Let's take some of that out. Let's take some of that out. All right, I got 10 pixels right there. All right, let me make it to like 20, because we're probably gonna take some out of here too. Take it to like 20. Let's take it to like 20 here. Let's see what it look like. All right, so that look better. You know what I mean? This one probably actually got 30 instead of 20, right? And there is an extension tool that you can use to measure it. But right now I'm just kind of eyeballing it so that you don't have to put another extension on your computer, even though it's free. All right. But it's like, all right, I could work with that. I could work with that. Right. Now here, I probably want a little bit less space in between here, just a little bit. Right. And we see we got 53 pixels there. So it's like grab it and just come on down a little bit. Just come on down a little bit. You know. Just come on down a little bit. Maybe take it to 20. See what it look like with 20. Hit save. Come back over here. See what our live site looks like. That look better. That look better. Now we're gonna check it on mobile. You know what I mean? And we're gonna check it on tablet real quick. But that's looking better right there. I can mess with you. I can mess with you. You know what I mean? I can mess with you. All right. Now let's see on our live site what we have. Yep, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it right there. Pretty much it. Pretty much it. All right, now down here, because our testimonials on our live site was longer, so it took up some more space, but that's okay. All right, we're gonna go here, and you see here we have 109 pixels, 109px, 109 pixels. Like, okay, let me take up a little bit of that space here. Let me grab that, take that up a little bit. All right, scroll that up a little bit, take a little of that space. All right, we got it to 20. Let's put it 25. All right, let's see what that look like. Hit save. Go to our live page, refresh. All right, so that look better. That look better. You know, that look more respectable to me. More respectable, right? And this is our pages came along real great too. Real great. Real great. Love that. Love that. Okay. I like this one a little bit better than my other final. Ain't that something? I wonder, and one more thing I might do. I want to see how this looks. I want to see how this looks. I want to see what if we center, here's what you're going to get. What if we center just that sentence? Let me just see what it looks like. Go back here. And so if we want to center just this heading right here, double click it so that way it highlights all of it. Okay. And then go up here. Remember here where it says paragraph with the little triangle drop down, and we center it right here. See, right now it's over to the left, right? It's aligned left, but that's the one that's highlighted. But if we highlight the one that says align centered, all right, let's just see how that looks. Let's see if that's how we want to roll with it. Okay. See if that's how we want to roll with it. I like how that looks on desktop. I mean, I like both ways. I'm not going to lie to you. I like both ways. All right. Let's see what we had on our final one. Oh, on our final one, we centered it too. Isn't that wonderful? Right. That's where I be thinking alike. I be thinking like myself. Yep. So that's cool. That's cool. I like that. Now let's just go ahead and see how it looks on the tablet and the mobile version real quick. So on the tablet version, down here at the lower left, hit the tablet version, right? It's like, all right, boom, 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 boom. And we're just looking to see that things line up the way that we wanted them to. We're making sure that things have the spacing the way we want it to see if we need to adjust anything. All right, but I like that tablet view. Looking dope. All right, now go over here to this mobile view. Start at the top. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, boom. And notice this is going to be making sure that you show it, that it shows above the fold, so a person doesn't have to scroll just to get to the opt-in. Okay. It's like, all right, cool, cool, cool. Here's what you're gonna get. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, 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 cool, cool, cool. All right, so that's looking good. All right, so everything look good. All right, so page is good to go. Page is good to go. All right. Now, mind you, like I said, it's easier to start with a template until you get used to things, and then you can start from scratch if you so chose. But even then, like, I still start with templates. It's just that I'll create templates of my own. You know what I'm saying? And I'll keep using my templates. This one I used one of the HBA templates. So that way when you get in, you know what I'm saying, you can go ahead, grab that template, and that's what I'm using. This one right here. And like I said, if you want the specific one, for this lead magnet and you're in the travel industry, when you get in, you're going to request you know what I'm saying, follow instructions to request one of my templates so that way you can get the specific template that already has the wording on it and everything. You don't have to worry about changing the words or anything like that. You already gonna have it. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Now, so the only thing we have to do now is we need to make sure that we connect. We have to connect the actual lead magnet. All right, which is the lead magnet itself is whatever the free thing you're gonna give them. All right, and in this case, we told them we're gonna give them a checklist. Okay. Boom. All right. So to be able to do that, all right, you have to download that checklist, all right, onto your device, onto your computer. You have to make sure you have it downloaded because we're going to put it into the HBA system. Okay. So let me make sure I have that download. I'm pretty sure I do, but I don't remember the name of it. I'm going to download it again and show you. It was this one. All right. And I'm going to rename it. I'm going to say travel checklist. Yeah, I'm gonna say travel agent travel checklist. All right, and this is the checklist right here. Boom. So we hit share, and this is inside of Canva. We're inside of Canva now. Okay, this is where I made the checklist at. All right, so I'm gonna download the checklist. But if you have a checklist that you're using from somewhere else, you just need to make sure it's downloaded on your computer. All right, maybe you made one that's not in Canva. That's fine. All right, just download it onto your computer and download it. The format I'm using is a PDF format. I'm downloading it as a PDF. Okay, so I'm gonna hit share. I'm gonna hit download, and I'm gonna say PDF standard, and I want it to print page 1. All right, which is the current page. All right, and then because it's only one page, I don't even know what's on this other second page. I don't even think it's nothing there. So I'm gonna hit done and download. All right, and wait for it to tell me that it actually downloaded. All right, so it said it downloaded. All right, right there. So now I'm going to go back to my HBA builder. All right. And now I'm going to be able to connect this. And let me show you how. All right, let me remember how I did this. I hit over here in the form. This is the form, okay, that they're going to fill out with their name and email address. I'm going to click on it. And then I believe I hit edit settings right there. I believe that's right. I'll go up here. And then where it says action on submit, go to page, and you drop down, it says show thank you message. On this case, it's going to be go to page because we're going to actually send them somewhere. In this case, we're going to send them to the lead magnet. Okay. So then down here, it says show funnel step. You're going to click on it. All right. And notice it says external link. All right. That's where it is now, but that's not what we're going to do. We're going to send them the actual file. All right. Because like I said, there's different ways to do this. You can send people to a separate page that says, hey, go check your email. That's totally fine. That's just not the way that we're doing this one. Right. But because the way that I'm showing you guys is a way that some builders don't allow you to do it this way. All right. But this way can be like the easiest way for you to get an opt-in funnel done with the lead magnet, the easiest way, because you don't have to worry about creating a second page. Not that it takes a long time to create a second page. The point is, I'm just showing you this way because this is a viable way. In other videos, I'll show you the other ways, okay? But anyway, we're going to go down to File. All right, and then now we're going to click right here in this gray area because now we have to get the file we want to download. All right, now I actually uploaded this one already. That's why it says orange or whatever. That was the original name of it. But I'm going to upload it again just to show you guys. All right, so upload file, and it's going to ask you to upload the file from your computer. All right, and notice we named it as travel agent. All right, so we clicked on it, and now it's inside of the funnel builder for us to be able to use. Okay, and so like if we did another, lead magnet, and we wanted to use one of these files back here, you could. You don't have to keep re-uploading them, by the way. So anyway, we're going to click on it, and now it's going to be highlighted in green. You see that green right there, green check mark? Cool. Now we select it. All right. Now what's going to happen is someone's going to be able to go to that lead magnet once they put in their details. And we're going to test this out and you're going to see. So hit select and then click out of it, like click anywhere out of it. Let me move this out the way. All right. Oh, also over here, and you'll learn some more things you could do with this when you set up your autoresponder and stuff like that. Inside of HBA, it has all the information in the Academy, but that's what a lot of this stuff is going to be for. Okay. But we do get a notification. You can have the system notify you anytime someone does fill out a form. That's why, like, when you guys opt into my page, I know you opted into my page. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what page you opted into as well. Because you can name the form, which we're not going to go into now. you know, we'll just name the form whatever it is, whatever you want to name it as, because we have a built-in CRM. So all the information gets stored on the HBA system for you as well. Okay. And then if I wanted to send me a notification, I would just put in my email address, like, hey, notify me when someone fills out this form, right? Then it would send me that notification, right? But I'm not going to set up notification on this form because this is one that I'm making for you guys, right? So that you guys can use. Once you get HBA through me, then let me know you want this template. If you're in a travel agency, boom. Now make sure you get this template. Simple, right? All right. All right, so now, and we don't have to worry about anything with Aweber settings at this point. Like I said, once you get it in yours, if you decide you want to set it up a different way and everything, but I use Aweber as my autoresponder, but we're not using it on this case. So we click out of it, hit save. All right, now go back to our thing and refresh. All right, so now everything should be good to go. Me. This is our form. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when someone opts in. Like this is our actual form right here. All right, now when I put this up in our portfolio, all right, when I put this on a portfolio, it will have a different it'll probably have a different domain name, all right, than this right here. So this domain name won't be live anymore. All right, but the point of the matter is I'm going to show you what it does. So that's not a real email address either. All right, I'm just going to put this in there just so you can see what happens when we hit give me my free guide. All right, and it goes over to the form. All right, so it gives the person the information right there, and then it'll have your website down here and not my website, like, because remember I told you about editing that, because like I said, you're going to get access to this template as well, to this lead magnet template, so you don't have to create another one for your travel agency business, right? This is one you can use, and of course I love creating these things, so we're going to be having more and more. Don't even trip. So the cool thing about this is that, and I didn't even know that Canva did this until it did it, you know, so this is the cool thing about it. When you do edit your website on the page that I give you, right, from Canva on this freebie, it actually makes it clickable. I didn't do anything to make it clickable. It did it. So notice when I hover over it, like you'll see my website pop up here. So when I click this should go to my website. If I typed it in properly, click it. All right. Now, yeah, they went to my website, which is the portfolio, right? Which I'm going to put this one over there so you guys can see it. Okay. But why is that important? Because when a person gets yours, right, and you put your website here, then boom, they didn't just leave you, right? Now they still see your information. They could click it. Go right back to your website. So they always are able to get in contact with you. That's really important. Don't have a lead magnet that you give people and you don't have any way on that lead magnet for them to be able to contact you. Okay, don't do that. You want the people to always, you know, have you in front of their mind. Okay, and that is basically it, guys. We have just created a simple opt-in funnel, real simple, with a lead magnet. Real simple, right? And notice again, and we'll stop sharing real quick. All right, and notice again, guys, like I said, the easiest way is to start with some type of template, right? Even if it's a template like how we use a template that, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't the exact words that we needed, but it had all of the parts. That's why I wanted to show you the parts as well. It had all the parts that we needed. But like I said, if you need, you know what I'm saying, this template for the travel agency, and you get HBA from me, just reach out to me and I'll make sure you get this template. So that way you'll be even further ahead of the game, or any of the other templates that you saw on my portfolio at easywebsitetool.com. All right, so guys, hopefully this has been helpful. All right, and you found some valuable information. If you have, put down in the comments and let me know one thing that you learned from this. And I want to know, ultimately, do you feel empowered to be able to go out and create a simple opt-in funnel for yourself? All right. Let me know. I want to know in the comments. Say, yeah, I feel that I can do this, or no, I'm still lost as hell. Whatever it is, either way, if you sticking with me, this ain't the first one, and this ain't gonna be the last one, baby. All right, because I actually love working with this builder. So hopefully you found some value with this week's marketing mastermind with Coach D. All right, and if you have, you definitely want to hop inside our Facebook group. You'll be able to tap into live weekly trainings, smart marketing tips, and real support to help you grow your business. All you got to do is tap the first link in the description and you can join us. And don't forget, if this is your first time on the channel, go ahead, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell, baby, so you can be alerted the next time we come up with some content, because we definitely bring it to you every single week. Other than that, you already know, I'll see you on the inside.